So, positive versus negative. I'll say positives always win. Negatives always lose. Optimism always beats pessimism. Kamala Harris' closing arguments are incredibly negative. You have to look hard to find any positive at all. She mentioned Donald Trump 24 times in her speech at the Washington Ellipse, and there were none too complimentary. Instead of charting a new course, she went backwards. Basically gave Donald Trump a hate speech. It's nothing but trash talk. That's all it is. 1,000 feet away, meanwhile, Joe Biden called roughly 80 million Trump voters garbage. And here's what Mr. Trump had to say about that today in North Carolina.
Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. And they mean it. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. You just
Very good. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. So, Kamala's given us the old threat to democracy riff. You know, threat to democracy. That's what Democrats have been saying for years. People have heard it before. They're sick and tired of it. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work now. It's so old. Calling Trump all the usual names, meanwhile, and lying about it, I don't know, an alleged Trump abortion ban or outlawing IVF or the socialist saw about making the rich pay their fair share or the bunk about a national 20% national sales tax. None of that's going to work. It will not work. That's how she planted her feet inside the Beltway with 6 days left until the election. And it's going to get her nowhere. Typical middle-class families of all colors and ethnicities would like to know, Kamala, what are you going to do for us? And her tepid response, as usual, price controls, rent controls, unconstitutional handouts to minority groups, more entitlement spending without work requirements, breaking the federal bank even more. But none of that fits the kitchen table anxieties that are the key issues in this election, alongside the open border catastrophe. Apparently, she did mention that she would deport criminals, which is something new and different for her. But then again, why didn't she do it the last 4 years? And hence, what kind of credibility does that have? One of the key problems for Kamala is simply this. Voters do not want a second Biden-Harris term. It's too expensive to buy a car, too expensive to buy a home. Real wages are falling, mortgage rates are soaring, the affordability crisis continues. The crime wave from illegal immigration is pervasive. The foreign wars seem endless. There must be a change. But for many years, Donald Trump has consistently argued a different course: lower taxes, shrinking government, stop the regulatory wet blanket, energy independence, remain in Mexico, build the wall, starve the Iranians, negotiate an end to the Ukraine-Russia war, stop unfair trading practices, defend America, end the cultural woke war against common-sense middle-class values. Those are all positives. They would move the country in a completely different direction. Kamala Harris, probably the least policy-savvy presidential candidate in memory. Mr. Trump, probably the most policy-savvy candidate in memory. And he has built a new Republican coalition around his policy vision to reignite America. Here's that coalition. In his own words, again, today, speaking in North Carolina. Roll tape, please.
We've brought together veterans and union members, soldiers and steelworkers, farmers and auto workers, and patriotic moms and dads of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're welcoming historic numbers of African Americans and Hispanic Americans and Asian Americans and Arab Americans. And we're uniting Christians and Jews and Catholics and evangelicals and Muslims and Mormons and everyone who simply wants one thing. They want one thing: to make America great again.
There you have it. Terrific stuff. As I said, positives win, negatives lose. And that's not garbage. Honestly, that is the riff.